Hey everyone, this video is going to be about XRP. Be sure to subscribe. Judge Sarah Netburn has restated that the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, must produce documents related to Bitcoin, Ether, and XRP amid the ongoing legal battle with Ripple Labs. The SEC ongoing legal case against the creators of the XRP cryptocurrency, Ripple Labs and its executives, alleges that the token was sold as a security. The blockchain firm failed to submit relevant documents to abide by the initial public offering process with the securities regulator, which allegedly violates securities laws. The regulatory body lost several pretrial motions in the past few months, including Ripple's victory in forcing the SEC to reveal documents related to Bitcoin, Ether, and XRP. Despite Judge Netburn's ruling to disclose critical records, she excluded the discovery of internal communications at the SEC. The SEC discussion on the top cryptocurrencies is critical to Ripple's defense, as the regulator has previously clarified Bitcoin and Ethereum as not being securities. If XRP were also discussed along with the two largest cryptocurrencies by market capitalization, it would further make Ripple's case. The agency, however, recently responded by stating that it does not possess any material relating to the leading cryptocurrencies. Judge Netburn has now reaffirmed the order that the SEC must produce documents related to the three cryptocurrencies and hand them over. Subject to privilege assertion, the regulatory agency must produce communications with third parties, including external agencies and market participants. The official document read, Interagency memoranda or formal position papers discussing Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP must be searched for and produced subject to a privilege assertion. Examples of such documents include division reports, final reports of internal working groups, or formal position papers submitted to the commissioners. Despite Ripple and its executives filing a motion to dismiss the case, the legal battle continues. The SEC even hired two senior trial lawyers from Chicago with 18 and 25 years of respective experience to assist with the case. Attorney Jeremy Hogan suggested that the agency is calling in the reinforcements and that Ripple will be fighting back hard. Ripple's long-running struggle against the American Regulatory Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, looks set to rumble on. Although it could be set to take a new turn as the presiding judge is set to make a key decision, while XRP holders are itching to enter the legal area. The case centers around the SEC claim that the Ripple-affiliated XRP coin is an unregistered security, and Ripple's claims to the contrary. The latest bone of contention is a so-called combined brief that the SEC has compiled. This 60-page document would essentially allow the regulator to file excess pages that would let it combine opposition to motions put forward by lawyers representing Ripple's leadership, the CEO Brad Garlinghouse, and the executive chairman Chris Larsen. But in a legal document, Larsen and Garlinghouse's legal team asked the presiding New York District Court magistrate, Judge Annalisa Torres, to turn down the SEC request, claiming that the regulator wants to take a consolidated position to further conflate the relevant allegations against the duo. The legal team claimed that the combined brief would muddy the legal waters and instead wants the regulator to address the specific arguments raised by each individual defendant, a process they said would allow the executives to more squarely address the SEC opposition arguments against them on reply and ultimately enable the court to clearly see the parties' arguments. But it looks as though the battlefield could be on the verge of becoming rather crowded. Last month, an attorney representing a group of XRP holders filed a document petitioning the court to let them in on the action. The attorney wrote that the Ripple chiefs had made it clear that they do not represent the interests of XRP holders. And Larsen and Garlinghouse's team claimed that although they had no relationship to the holders, they nevertheless have strong and distinct interests in the regulatory status of XRP, adding. But it looks like the Ripple bosses are happy to see XRP holders get in on the action, as long as it is on their own terms. The exec stated that the holders should be allowed limited participation, claiming that the court should deny the holders' request to intervene as representatives of a putative class of additional defendants. The Ripple chiefs justified their stance by explaining that XRP token holders were focused on the present-day status. The regulator refuted the claim that, as secondary market XRP investors, the holders were somehow unnamed defendants, claiming that this particular action does not charge transactions between individuals in the secondary market as violations of Section 5. Section 5 refers to a part of the much-maligned United States Securities Act of 1933, which specifies that all issuers must register non-exempt securities with the SEC. The The regulator furthermore claimed that the defendants do not and cannot demonstrate that they would advance any argument or adduce any relevant evidence that Larson and Gailinghouse, through the 4 law firms capably representing them, cannot. Thanks for watching.
To entertain, but to educate, teach. Get you excited about this stuff, so call me at 1-800-743-CBC or tweet me at Jim Cramer. Nothing takes the Fed out of the equation like a weak employment number. And today we got the weakest one relative to expectations that I can ever recall. A miss of 744,000 jobs. That's right, the experts predicted we'd create 1 million jobs in April. Instead, we got 266,000. I would fire every expert. All right, now you think that would be bad news, right? I mean, much miss in terms of how few jobs were created. Wrong. For the stock market is great news, which is why the Dow gained 229 points, S&P climbed 0.74%, both all-time highs. NASDAQ jumped 0.88%. Even the NASDAQ was up. The big concern right now is that a booming economy will force the Federal Reserve to slam on the brakes by raising interest rates. And a huge part of that was the fabulous job market. Yes. But with such a disappointing employment number, Fed Chief Jay Powell has bought some time here. He's got a lot more leeway to leave rates unchanged. As long as the unemployment rate's above 6%, anyone who says he needs rate hikes, I got to tell you, that person really does sound like a crank. They know nothing! Of course, we know that inflationary pressures have been building pretty much everywhere. I know that. I'm not oblivious, even if some of them are temporary. I don't think lumber's always going to be up here. I don't think corn's always going to be at $7. But we know the job growth may have been held back by bountiful expanded unemployment benefits. Lots of employers either can't or won't match those payments, so you can't really blame anyone for taking the money and staying home. I personally have been willing to far exceed what those employment benefits play, but there's so many other aspects of those benefits that are positive. We're not even getting any takers. But even with these issues, the Labor Department's non-farm payroll report is considered sacrosanct, and it gives Powell the cover he needs to keep rates low, which in turn means stock buyers have another month where they don't need to worry about the Fed. The result? Huge gains today for all kinds of stocks, with the best performers being the bigger cap tech names that roar when the economy seems to be downshifting and inflation remains low. Even if the economy may be doing the exact opposite, inflation is still very much on the table. Can this incredible bullish scenario hold up? Well, we're not going to have to wait too long. I'll tell you why we don't have to wait too long. Because on Monday morning, we get a result from a company that's very sensitive to all the issues we're talking about when it comes to inflation, which is Tyson Foods. We'll hear about whether the budding chicken shortage is going to drive up prices, probably hear about the price of corn. As is, animal feed keeps going higher and higher. Food inflation is getting out of hand. Will that be ignored? Hard to imagine. But it comes right in the shadow of this benign jobs number. So again, it probably won't matter. We also hear from Marriott International. I'd be very much like to see what their bookings look like. This morning, Expedia told us that pleasure trips are filling hotels, but business excursions haven't come back much at all because everybody's still using Zoom. You might be surprised after the close when one of my absolute favorites, Simon Property Group, reports, and I bet they shoot the lights out. Simon's the biggest mall operator